sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everybody doing today? We are here. We are here. Another episode of I.O.W. Sports. It's episode 265.
Yep.
As you see the headline, we're going to talk some training camp. There was some injuries and apologies going on in training camp around in the NFL. But, of course, before we get started, I'm your host, Wildcard Mar, along with the one and the only, the man with the grand master plan for the I.O.W. Sports Network, Detroit Mel.
What up, though?
What's happening, big bro? How's everything, man?
Hey, man, everything good, man. You know, trying to get out here and get this money, man.
Hey, man.
Keep running away from me.
Well,
every time I chase it, it runs from me.
Well, hey, you know,
like my last girlfriend.
Well, I mean, I can't speak on why you can't keep the lady. It's like a personal issue. But I will say this. It just sucks that your adult film star career didn't take off. Maybe we can maybe this podcast thing for us will take off. Because
hopefully, man. You know, I started my own network, SpakeThatMonkey.com. It didn't seem to catch.
Hey, that monkey.
Didn't seem to catch on.
I wonder what part did you get going. The spanking part or the spanking the monkey part?
I don't know, man.
Didn't catch on either way. Hey,
they didn't get my concept.
Hey, you win some, you lose some. Oh, man. Always a pleasure to chop it over with you, big bro. Man.
Oh yeah.
Man, a big homie Nick Shine. He'll be in a second. He get
his nipples waxed.
Nipples waxed. I don't know if that's the case, but I do know.
Whatever, Nick, man. You ain't supposed to be on. You supposed to take care of business.
I was about to say, ain't he supposed to be taking care of family business?
Hey, man. It take a long time to wax all that hair off your nipples. Get on the show.
Anyway, y'all know the deal, man. Please tap in with us everywhere and anywhere.
Right.
All the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram at I.O.W. Sports Network, Twitter at I.O.W. Sports One, and of course, most importantly, on the YouTube channel, I.O.W. Sports Network. That's where all our content is at. Make sure to get you like, share, please subscribe. Hit that bell notification every time we drop new content and spread the word. Hey, word of mouth is dope.
Matt?
What's up? Jersey Boy MJ's in the building. Y'all can catch him and myself on the Late Night Owl show every Monday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and hey, MJ, he got a baseball podcast coming up. We're still.
I'm still working on a logo.
Yeah. Oh, you working on a logo? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a text and tell him.
Yeah. Because between you and me and him, we all been kind of like collaborating to get this thing started. But we gonna get it popping though. All right, we gonna get it popping. All right, Nick has gone too far. No,
don't put up that.
Put that comment up. No, please don't put that comment up. No, too far. No, we're gonna join.
Don't forget about you getting ready to start the Wild Card Chiefs.
Yes. We got a lot of stuff going on.
No Name Podcast.
Yeah, No Name Podcast for those who are Detroit Lions fans. Detroit Mail hits that up, of course.
What up, man?
I'm revamping the Wild Card Chief podcast for all our Chiefs fans out there. Of course, proud New York Jets fans. You see, Nick is commenting. He's part of the I.O.W. clique. He does a channel for the New York Jets fans. So,
right.
If y'all want to go be delusional with all the other Jets fans along with him, go over there.
You digging in already, huh?
Well, I mean, let me know when I'm lying. I'm kidding. No, all is fair. Hey, everybody can get it. But no,
that's true. Especially on this show.
Oh, especially on this show. Yeah, everybody can get it. But look, tap in with us, all those social media platforms. But we're not going to waste too much time because we have a very special guest.
And I did not to cut you off. I did see AP that Pee Wee Herman died at 7. I didn't know he was that old, bro.
Pee Wee Herman was that old?
Yeah, man. He died. He had cancer though.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know about that.
So they going in. All right, man. Come on, we're supposed to guess in. They going in.
I go ahead and introduce our guest.
All right. So as y'all know, we had talked about we doing the 32 days before the NFL season start, and so I reached out to MicroMike. I watch a lot of his content. He got like 50 shows going on at one time. I watch most of, not all of them. And so I reached out to him. He said he'd come on, and I'm gonna bring him up and let him introduce himself and tell you where all his content is at.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me on, man. Talk some Detroit Lions.
Yeah, we're gonna
What's up,
talk
Mike?
Lions, we're gonna talk football. How you doing, Mike? What's going on?
As you can tell, I'm red. Been on the beach a little bit, got a little bit sunburned, a little lobster. I was thinking about joining your guys' your extracurricular activity with the monkey business going on over there. I thought, that is how you go viral, legitimately viral in a good and bad way with the STD. So
Hey, he'll fit in. He'll fit in perfect over here.
Fit in just fine.
That's what she said, man.
Yeah, you fit in just fine. Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to join us today, Mike. We really appreciate it.
That's how we doing it. Is that what we doing? We doing that? How we doing?
She was looking hard.
Very hard.
But before we get into conversation today, man, Mike, please give our viewers a chance to hear where to find your content, where to follow you, and support your content. Go ahead, man.
So I'm part of Chat Sports. You can find me chatsports.com or on YouTube, just Chat Sports there. And part of Lions Nation Unite. I work with Herman Moore, so that's my boss.
Nice.
So we'll be at the Soaring Eagle Casino. We'll be in the local radio and the Huge Show. So it's really easy to find us. You just search his name or my name, and we talk at Detroit Lions.
Nice. Like to hear it. But before we get too deep off into the sports conversation, especially Detroit Lions, how is it to work with Herman Moore? I mean, and for those who watch football, they know who Herman Moore is, and how is he like as an individual, like off camera and just hanging around him? How dope is that?
He is the nicest guy I've ever met in my entire life. The guy is extremely humble. You probably wouldn't expect that being, a celebrity, multimillionaire, but he's really, really humble. His whole family's like that. Just always will do anything to help you out. We'll take his shirt off and give it to you. Hell, his mom drove to my house just to deliver me something. I mean, and I live 2.5 hours away. Wow. So it just goes to show you the pedigree that he is, but he's super awesome. He's funny as hell, and we love to go at it. So
nice. That's pretty dope. All right, Mike. So we got to talk about it, man. Hey, man, your squad. I hear enough from Detroit now. He has his own podcast, No Name Podcast. He likes to sneak Lions Talk in our sports show every Monday and Thursday. I don't want to hear from him. I need to hear from you, man. I mean, you guys are coming in with a lot of expectations, probably a year of expectations that you probably haven't had in a long time as a Detroit Lions fan. So what's up, man? What y'all gonna do?
I think we'll win the NFC North. I think we're going to host a playoff game. These guys are legit. If you watch them in practice, it is a very professional practice now. Balls are not falling on the ground. I remember listening to Peyton Manning probably 15 years ago talk about how it's vital for their practice to be just flawless, and that's what's taking place right now for the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown coming his third year. Jared Goff is really integrated into Ben Johnson's offense, and the defense with the additions of CJ Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, and all these other players is just making this team come together to be a contender, in my opinion, for real contender.
Nice. Let me ask you this, because obviously we talked about it last year, me and Mel did, about the some of the benefits that happened with Hard Knocks. What in your opinion, what were some of the benefits that came out of Hard Knocks and kind of transferred through the season and might have even transferred to this season?
What I really like is everybody thought like Dan Campbell was just some meathead, stupid idiot guy. I mean, that was the initial thought. Well, you just bite kneecaps.
It's kind of hard not to have that initial thought.
Well, right, you think of him right that, but there's a lot of people that didn't see the kindness that he is. So when he got hired in Detroit, you know how you'd want to sign his or have him sign an autograph? He went to the Ford employees and he had them sign their autograph to his stuff. And he's just a very humble guy, and he loves to dictate his, the work to his coaches. And what I like about Hard Knocks is they've shown that this is a kind guy, but we're about hard work. Yeah, we like to have fun. You see us joking on there and having a good time, but make no mistake about it, we are about a business, and we're about to do our work on the field and change the culture in Detroit. And you got to see it. Got to see Williams, the great running back. He's now with the New Orleans Saints. Funny as hell. Got to see his personality and all the personalities here in Detroit where you can just be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope to see. Go ahead, Mel. You got anything for Mike?
Yeah, man. So I don't know about you, but I was thinking about last year how they made this transition from the about back half of the year and started to get that momentum going, and it made me start thinking about the identity of this team, and actually how does it fit with the culture of the city itself or the community, sports community in Detroit. And I think one thing, but I want to see what you say before I answer. How do you think the new look Lions, I guess for lack of better words, fit into the culture or the identity of the city?
It's exactly it. Blue collar, 12-hour days, working your ass off, and the hard type of jobs. That's exactly what it is here. I mean, you're not seeing big names. You got the Khalif Raymonds making work in there. You got Josh Reynolds. You got all these players that no one really knows about, but they're putting their work in and doing the job. Of course, you see Dan Campbell. He's a lunch pail type of guy. But you're seeing exactly what Detroit is, and we finally have an identity. You look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're iron and they're steel and they're workers and all that type of stuff. The Green Bay Packers, it's the cheese heads and all that. They don't have all the celeb. Now you're starting to see that here in Detroit, a legit identity, and it fits exactly how Detroit is. Multicultural, could give a care less what you look like. We just want to win and get to work, and that's exactly what you're seeing with Detroit.
I agree.
Nice. Go ahead, Mel. Because you say you kind
of.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't want to cut you off, but yeah. So my thing, I agree 100% with Mike was saying. I think that with the way that Dan Campbell came in and changed the culture. If you go as far back as like look at when Wayne Fontes was coaching. That was supposed to have been the change right there. Oh, we're going to bring in Wayne Fontes, defensive coordinator, supposed to be this genius for our defense. And he had a great personality. I mean, you could not like Wayne Fontes, but he didn't get the job done. Then you see down the line where they brought in Stafford, and that was supposed to have been a turnaround, and then that didn't kind of work out. And for other reasons, I don't think they put pieces around it. We can go through that, but that's not important. But when Dan Campbell came in, it kind of gave me at first, I'll be the first to admit, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Okay, here we go again. But I saw little things that made me say this is different. The way him and Brad Holmes kind of interacted, that was different. The way even Sheila Hamp kind of interacted with it, that was different. Because when the son owned the team, the only time you seen him was in the stands. You didn't really see him interacting with the team that much. Yeah. So you see the change with the organization first. And I think that's what you're supposed to do. You change the culture first. The first year.
100%, man. If you look at it, and what Sheila Ford Hamp did. She got in Spielman, brought in Barry Sanders.
Right.
She gets Brad Holmes, who is all about the draft. And then she turns around and hires a guy who's all about football on the field play. So you're hitting all these parts. You got respect for players like Spielman and obviously Barry Sanders. You got somebody that is very intellectual and knows how to scout and draft at Brad Holmes. And then you got a meathead guy who's played the game of football, but is a kind big fellow. And so you're hitting all the parts. And so all these type of individuals can relate at least to something on there. Well, I can relate to Brad Holmes. I can relate to Dan Campbell. I can relate to Spielman for sure. So I think that's such a different change than what we used to have. It's completely different dynamic top of the leadership, and it's working.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Mike. So I heard this. I listened to a lot of stuff. It might have been YouTube. But anyway, someone talked about Jared Goff, and they said that Jared Goff was only good because of Ben Johnson. Do you think that's true or not?
Negative. I remember when they traded for Jared Goff, everybody said this is the worst trade ever. He's a window licker. He eats crayons. And I'm like, look, guys, he's not that. Is he the greatest quarterback in the world? Absolutely not. but he's like an Alex Smith. I said, when you make the trade, he's like an Alex Smith type of quarterback.
Right.
He's not the 33rd ranked quarterback out of 32. He's not that freaking bad.
Right.
And once you get a player like him who is a winner, who is very respectful, and he doesn't do stupid stuff. You don't got to worry about him behind the scenes or anything like that. He is a professional, and he gets players like Alex Smith did, like an Amon-Ra St. Brown, or like he did over there for Kansas City. They coalesce, and then you have a good quarterback. But to make him even better, you put the pieces around him and put in situations for him to succeed. What's he good at? He dumps the football off in the middle. Well, guess what? We got St. Brown. We got Clete Freeman. Now we got Laporta. You got a lot of weapons that he can throw that spot to, and you're making a good quarterback look like he's a top 10 quarterback. That is what coaches and general managers are supposed to do. Yeah. You're supposed to take your quarterback, whoever it is, and put him in position to succeed. Jalen Hurts was not with the Philadelphia Eagles with how they set him up. Would he be Jalen Hurts right now? I don't know. You don't know. That's what you got to do for a quarterback. Justin Fields is in that situation right now with Chicago. So he's a good quarterback. Is he elite? I don't think he's elite. Is he a window licker? No, he's not. He can change his own diapers when he gets older. So
Mike, you're gonna have some Bears fans coming after you, not saying Justin's elite. Now, I mean, look, to each his own. But let's kind of take a quick overview of the division right now, because I want to kind of get your thoughts on where you guys are going to start matching up in the division. Aaron Rodgers is no longer there, even though you kind of give him Aaron Rodgers fits, even when he was in Green Bay. You already kind of talked about the Bears. Justin Fields he's maturing as a quarterback, but still a lot of holes you got to fix over there in Chicago. And I like Kirk Cousins. I got a new affection for Kirk Cousins after watching the Netflix. I know you
what I always say.
I got a new affection for Kirk Cousins after watching the Netflix special and documentary. I can respect what he does, but kind of give me your overall view of the NFC North in a whole, and then kind of break each team down, as in Packers, Lions, Bears, and Vikings, and so on and so forth. So go ahead and break down the NFC North real quick.
When I look at the Green Bay Packers, I think there's some question marks there. We really don't know what's going on with Jordan Love, right? We don't know what he's going to be. Yeah, he's done 30-some snaps, but let's be honest, he hasn't done a full season. So I know a lot of people are poo-pooing on the Packers and saying they're going to be absolute garbage. I'm not there yet. I want to sit back and watch. They got a good secondary. They got some pieces there on defense. So if he can hold the fort down, I mean, the Green Bay Packers can be the Green Bay Packers. Do I think right now they're probably fourth in the division? Yeah, I think the Chicago Bears there have done enough where they jumped up to a 7-8 win football team. They've given Justin Fields some weapons there on offense, got a better offensive line, a number one wide receiver. We already know he's mobile. He just got to get a little bit better, obviously, passing the football, and that's a progression a young quarterback has to do. But their defense has a lot of issues. The defensive line. I think Minnesota right there is probably number two. They took a step back now. They won 11 games last year by one possession. I highly doubt that's going to happen again. I mean, that seems extremely unlikely. Now, and you lose Cook.
I'm with you on that. There's no way. Because not the diss on the Vikings is just that when you had that many close victories, 11 of them by one possession, like you got a little bit of a horseshoe stuck up your ass, just a little bit.
Yeah, like you had an angel out there out on the center. Like, I don't know what the hell happened there, but they just got extremely lucky some of these times. But I got love for Kirk Cousins. I know a lot of people don't like him. I live in Holland, Michigan, so he lives 5 miles from me. He's a local hero here. My ex-wife's friend dated him, and it's just a fun story there. But I think that he can't win the big game. I think now you notice this as a veteran. Like, he can't win a home playoff game against the New York Giants, and he's only won one playoff game throughout his whole tenure. So I think there's a limit to his ceiling there. And I think the Lions, they've did so much on defense that's going to elevate them a little bit. I've never said that the Lions are going to win the NFC North since I've been on YouTube or anything like that. But I feel pretty confident with the moves that they made defensively, and this offense is going to even be better. It's hard to not pick the Lions to win the NFC North because their offense is top three. and their defense was playing much better second half of the year. And then they had C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Cameron Sutton. They get Jack Campbell at linebacker. Holy crap. I mean, it looks pretty good for the Lions. Yeah, that's how I got it.
I like what you guys did at defense, but I will say this. Man, y'all got to tell your boys stop gambling. Yeah, something. I don't know what the hell's going on. Look, I like to gamble too. I got the DraftKings app too. It's cool.
That's why you got so many kids.
Yeah, but hey, well, I gotta pay for them. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have millions of dollars at stake by gambling. I don't. So my thing is like, what's going on? You're like, are we not getting the memo on the rules, the regulations? Like, what you gotta talk to us, Mike? We got a problem in Detroit. What's up?
I don't know what happened there. We had what 5 players that was up with the gambling. Yeah. Look, man, apparently we love the gamble in Detroit. I have no idea, but look, we definitely
it's a gamble living in Detroit.
Yeah, a lot of that going on here. So we released those guys.
I'm Nick, by the way, man. Nice to meet you.
Nick, how's it going, man?
All right.
You ignore him, Mike. Go ahead.
Anyways, I don't know what's going on.
I saw your eyebrows go up before, Mel. I saw your eyebrows shoot up when he said a horseshoe up the ass, Mel. I was like, ooh, sounds fun.
Hey, some kinky stuff going on there. Got some dominatrix. I think you guys are gonna send me some dog collars and all sorts of weird stuff.
Mike, please do not concede into this foolishness with these two. All right, I'm the only professional one here, and I don't need you to join the circle.
What's that?
Motherfucker wears a tank top to work, and he's the only professional one here.
Professional. I got to be professional sometimes too. So
okay, you got me there.
But when I'm not,
go ahead. I'm sorry. We rip each other all day. I felt the anxiety being 23 minutes into the show, and I didn't rib anyone. I had to get
you
it
got
out
to.
Of my system.
That's the only way you can live. That's it. That's all you can do is rip the shit out of people and have a good time doing so. I don't know what's up with J-Mo. I think a lot of people give him a lot of hell. I think he should get suspended. I think it was 6 is a little bit too obsessive considering the fact it was at a hotel and he was betting on a college game. But I mean, look, you can't gamble. We know that, and hopefully he gets his head together and doesn't do any of that stuff again.
Right.
Yeah. I'll jump in here, Nick. If you got any questions for Mike about the Detroit Lions and anything, any comments, concerns, or
what's the word with Gardner Johnson? I thought I heard he had some sort of injury. Is he good? I haven't seen an update. That's why I'm asking.
He's absolutely good. Back on practice today.
Good.
We completely got cleared. Boy, that would have been a disaster if he would have went out.
I got the alert from a tweet, either Rappaport or Schefter. I got the alert, and I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, that's a big blow for you guys. Because, I talk to Mel, obviously, or unfortunately, all the time. You see my name under Big Nick, hater of Mel. But I will say this. I've continuously said for the 2 years that I've known these guys that the Jets and Lions have been on like that same trajectory. We've had we finally got competent people in the front office making decisions. We got some stability on the sideline. We got coaches that our players play very hard for. I'm like an underdog Lion fan. You know what I mean? Like they're that underdog team now. I was always a Rodgers fan, self-admittedly. I've had a man crush on him for over a decade. And I've always said him playing quarterback is must-see TV for like me not having good quarterback play. But like the Lions are like that. And I say this as a Jet fan, so it's not a dick. They're like that lovable loser. The Jaguars, the Browns, the Jets, the Lions. Those are the teams that, like, I think all 4 of us kind of look at one another and like, be cool if you did some shit, right?
Yeah, no. I'm tired of seeing the same teams.
Yeah. Like, one of the first things you said that I heard you say when I popped on was about like, since you've been on YouTube, you've never like picked the Lions to win the division. I mean, I'm in the same boat. So it may have been since we've been on Earth. Like, not even just YouTube, like way before YouTube was even a fucking thought. I'm like, you got to go back to Scott Mitchell and Barry Sanders. I don't know how old, and Herman Moore, Brett Perryman. You got to go back a minute. How does it feel now to be potentially the hunted after being, I don't even want to say the hunter, like you were prey? Like, how does it feel to be like the big dog in the division potentially? Like, how's that? What's that mindset as a Lion fan?
Thank
to know
God.
where you've been for so long to now finally be like, yo, they're looking at us. We're not looking at them.
Thank God. It's about time. Like we've been the guy that everybody sits in the back seat, crapped on, pee on. I remember I went to the NFL draft in 2009, and you were over there, Radio City Music Hall, I'm sure, during those times. And the Jets fans and Giants fans mock every fan base that walks up in line. There were Eagles and Redskins at the time, Texans. Here comes me with my Lions gear. Everybody just looks at me like it was a funeral. It was just dead
you don't even know what to say. You don't even know what to say. Like it's almost like you get like
oh damn!
A funeral is perfect. It's like the wake the night before, right? You get like my condolences. Like
I get a lot of guys like, you need this more than me, and he had a fifth of Jack. I was like
the only comment you get is like fantasy football. Hey man, I had Calvin Johnson last year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how it was, man. You know, like I say a lot of times when I was a Lions fan, you bring up sports and you start talking about sports and you say, "Oh, I'm a Lions fan." You hit this long pause, like, really? Like you had nothing to add to the conversation, you know? Like, I still like football. I still like sports. I can talk about sports.
Yeah.
You don't know about football. You're a Lions fan. You know what I'm saying?
That's the worst comment in all of sports is when people try to discredit a fan's opinion about any other team. Oh, you root for them. So wait, because my team's bad, my opinion's bad.
Right.
Patriots fans are the worst at this. Just because you hopped on a bandwagon when Mo Lewis crushed Drew Bledsoe's sternum doesn't mean that you know more about football than other fans.
You should respect the fans that are fans of terrible ass teams, right?
Right.
Because they're in it through thick and thick. There is no thin.
Loyalty. Hey, I'm
loyalty. Rick James, baby.
I'm talking about when. Because people won't like, even these two bozos like to jump. I mean, oh, you're a Chiefs fan. Oh, hush. We don't want to hear from you. My thing is like, bro, before 2013, I had some lean years. I'm 36
Nothing
years
about
old.
you say lean years.
Yeah, boys, come on.
Motherfucker came out brown like a bowling ball. And it has nothing to do with the Chiefs. Me and Mel just don't like hearing from you.
Yeah, but I'm saying for 36 years of my life, the only time it's been great and gravy was the last 5 since Patrick Mahomes is taking over. So it's like it's not like I'm that far removed from feeling the same feeling you guys.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this though. But I will tell you this though. It seemed like, and maybe with the Jets fans too, but with the Jets organization, even though Kansas City wasn't that great, they still got some kind of respect. They still still got the Lynn Dawson respect. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They still got the respect from having Christian Okoye.
Oh shit, in the 60s.
I'm saying, but I know what my point is. When you mentioned that I'm a Chiefs fan, they still ain't crap on you like they did when you say you're a Lions fan. It's like act like nothing is great about the organization at all, you know. And then
we think you're a fan of a lion in Africa. No, the Detroit Lions. No.
Right. You know?
Wait, you I know. No.
I just started dating this girl who's not a football fan, and she goes, "What do you do for your job?" I said, "I talk Detroit Lions," and she's like, "That's the team that sucks, right?" Damn it.
Mike, but the true question is, how much do you really like her? Did you keep her around after she said that?
Hey, man. With the way she looks,
I'm not saying.
I'm just I can hold it in for 2 minutes. Holy shit!
Hey, you can talk as much as you want about my team, baby. You just keep doing Oh, that's great.
Like Mike Elf said, "Ain't your beauty, it's your booty."
Yeah.
Let's be real. We don't date them for their opinions anyway, right?
Hey, that's the opinion you really don't give a damn about, baby.
The only one I care about is, hey, baby, how you want to cook the chicken tonight?
Or what do you like for breakfast? That's it.
Right.
No, that's amazing. I will say this. Kind of, Mike. Give me your kind of your opinion on the defensive side. That's going to give not the casual or the regular or the standby Lions fan. What's going to give us like hope that your defense isn't going to be like it was in the first half, and we're going to see more of the second half defense. Because honestly, as an outsider looking in, I think had your defense played the whole season, obviously, and they did the second half, I think you're a totally different team. So kind of give us some of your opinions and thoughts on that's going to keep a lot of Lions fans secure that the defense is going to be able to play consistently like they did in the second half.
Here's a stat a lot of people don't know. Last year's Lions defense was the youngest defense in the NFL for the past 26 years. And that's the players playing on defense. You're talking about rookies, Kirby Joseph, Malcolm Rodriguez, Joshua Pascal. You even got a Lee McNeil, who's now coming into year 3. It was extremely young defense. And so I think it took a little bit of time for these rookies and these young players to actually get in line to what was going on. But as soon as they did, Kirby Joseph, who we drafted in the 4th round, pick. Joshua Pascal starting to get into, in the offensive line. And you're seeing Aiden Hutchinson, who we drafted, starting to learn how to beat double teams. And the defense got better. The one thing that we didn't have is a lot of veteran leadership. Right. So what do they do this offseason? You go get Cameron Sutton and CJ Gardner-Johnson, who has now transformed this defense into a shit-talking, confident secondary that's going to wreak havoc. Our injuries were bad last year. We didn't have Joshua Pascal, Tracy Walker for majority of the time, and the depth was pretty bad. Now you look at the depth in the secondary alone, it's one of the best in the NFL. It's a scary good depth, and I think that having players out there all in the secondary, it's going to force the quarterback to stand in the pocket just a second more. And that's where you have your edges like Aiden Hutchinson or Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara, whoever is there to smack that quarterback, because there's so many times that Aiden Hutchinson nearly had sacks, and he had 9.5 sacks. He had 2 forced fumbles and 3 interceptions. Now imagine you giving him more opportunity like that. Yeah. Sky's the limit for the defense. And it just got better and better. And so, and what we're seeing in camp right now, it's progressed the same way. Nice. Jared Goff in this offense is a really good offense. And the defense is giving him fits. Yeah. That's a good sign to see.
Always a good sign. Always a good sign.
Mike, so tell me what games do you have circled on your calendar?
Oh, you already know week 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, my God. I mean, it's in front of the whole world to see against the Super Bowl champions at Arrowhead, where your fan base is up there, is going to be ludicrous crazy. Right. They're going to go off the chain. If the Lions can somehow pull the victory out there, that's going to change the narrative in Detroit.
I'll be unbearable on this show with Lamar.
Oh my God, it's going to be great. It's going to be glorious.
Well, first of all, I'm trying to convince Mel to come down for the game anyway. I got room for him to stay. He ain't got to worry about lodging. So I already know, regardless, we're going to have a great time. Well, I am. He's a vegan, so I don't know how much barbecue he's going to be able to enjoy. That kind of sucks.
I'll just sniff the sauce.
You see it sniff the sauce?
That feel pretty good. That's some good brisket, Nick. Good brisket.
Charcoal to my brain.
What's that? Yeah, you ain't know that?
Vegan?
Yeah.
You didn't know that? That's another reason.
I would have been making fun of that shit if I knew it.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
Anyway.
And we have
had for someone who loves the meat so much, I'm surprised you don't eat it.
And we've had conversations about this because I think even
one second, I'll be right back. I just
go ahead.
Go ahead. What you saying?
Even if the Lions lose that game, I say this: it depends on how you lose.
That's the biggest thing I said. It depends on how they lose.
Depends on how you lose.
Right.
If you guys go out there and the Chiefs blow you out the dog water, I don't think is cause for panic, because the fact of the matter is it's the defending champs. It's one of the preferred favorites. So my thing is like they probably was going to do that to just about 30 other teams in the NFL. So to me, that's not a knock on the Lions. It's just
I won't say the season is over.
No, it's not over. It's week
one.
But
I would say if they get blown out, I'm still gonna be kind of looking like, okay, I'm looking at AG a little bit. Like, okay, how did you prepare this defense? How well did you prepare this defense if they get blown out? If they just lose by a close game, I'm confident.
Yeah.
Of course, I want them to win, but if they lose a close game, I'm like, okay, this I want to see. This I want to
Lions
see.
fans just want it to be a really good game, right?
Right.
It's like you're showing the whole world that we're trying to be one of those teams, and if you can go to Arrowhead, keep it close, make it a fun game,
And
then the
compete.
national perspective of the Lions regarding win or loss is going to change in a positive manner. If we go
Right.
out there and get blown out like a hooker, like throwing a hot dog down the hallway, here we go again, back to the dumpster fire in Detroit.
Right.
Well, but hold on, Mike, and that's what I was kind of speaking on. Is because I don't want people to take a week 1 loss to defending champion on banner night and literally a favorite to win a Super Bowl to be like, oh gosh, the Lions suck again. See, we knew it. I don't want people to have that mindset because
that's gonna happen though, Lamar. You know it's gonna happen.
I get it. I know that's what's going to happen. But my thing is like you can't freak out off of a week 1 loss to the defending champs.
Yeah.
It's just bad circumstances. And I'm not saying that the Lions can't win the game because it's any given Sunday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. Whatever day they play football on, you can lose anytime. You can win anytime. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to what you said, man. AG, Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
He was on the hot seat because people was ready to get rid of him for just the bad performance that the defense was putting out there last year. And then shit clicked. And then they retained him. So I'm looking at AG. What can you're not going to stop Mahomes. What can you do to slow him down and give you a chance, opportunity to win? What are you going to do? That's to me. That's the only thing that matters.
I think for me, I think you contain him, force him to throw the ball. Don't let him if you don't let him run. Force him to throw the ball and depend on all those good cornerbacks and safeties you have. You got good safeties, you got good cornerbacks, and depend on them to make a play on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let him come out that pocket and run. You contain him. You can keep a spy out there, contain him, force him to throw the ball. I think that's the best way because you're not gonna stop him.
No,
you're not gonna stop him. But if you contain him, force him to throw the ball, and rely on the defense that you have, I think they'd be all right. I think it'd be a close game that way.
I hear that.
For me, go ahead. What you about to say?
No. Go ahead.
For me, I got the Seahawks and the Cowboys circled on my calendar.
Ooh.
Because
Cowboys always.
No, always Cowboys. Because I can't stand their fan base.
Can't stand them.
Might be one of the few things that unites all of us on this.
That's what I know.
If we're ever arguing, one of us will just go, fuck the Cowboys. We're all like, yeah. All right. We circled the wagons. We're back together.
Hey, take it a step further, Nick. Cowboys, Patriots.
Patriots.
Two names on this show. It'll stop all arguments and it'll put everybody on one side in a heartbeat. Say
Do you
Patriots.
notice if you are a super scumbag in football, you root for a team that has a star on the helmet? I don't know if many people know this, but the Patriots has
have
a star.
Yeah, it's
on the hat.
Yeah.
And the Texans have one too. 3 teams have a star. And the Cowboys aren't even the best of them. So they talk about the star all the time. They're not even a star of teams having a star. So fuck all of it.
And if those 2 teams are playing each other, we root for an answer.
Terrorism. I hope Muhammad Atta is the referee.
Damn.
Yeah.
The views and opinions on this show.
Oh, that's expressed by Nick. That's totally Nick.
Oh, man.
That's all Nick.
Hey,
yeah,
Muhammad Atta is my neighbor.
I can't. No.
Both watch the History Channel more than they watch the NFL Network because clearly they don't know what's going on nowadays.
Rogue Wave.
Shit gets real around here, but no. Now I know it's still training camp season. I know. I understand the point on the calendar and all that. But we got to do it, Mike. It's just always the way too early predictions, and it's okay. We understand it, but if looking at transactions, players you acquire, players that left, coaches that stayed and left, and just overall scheme, kind of give us your way too early record predictions on what the Lions are going to do this year.
I've been pretty close in my predictions throughout I've been on here. When we got Dan Campbell, I said between 3 and 5 wins. That was the year 1. I said 7 and 8 wins last year, year 9. This year, got them getting 11 wins. I think they can get 11 wins here. They had 9 last year with the additions of C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton, and the rookie class. And in the same system, what we're seeing right now in training camp, just how smooth everything is running, I think it is not hard to believe they can do a 2-game jump into that 11th win, potentially 12. I know a lot of people saying 12, but I want to be a little conservative here and say 11, just because, I mean, there's going to be games you're going to lose. But I think the Lions can win the NFC North with 11 wins.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's fair. Just looking at your division, and I haven't had a full in-depth peek at your schedule, but going by your divisional schedule, obviously, I know the Bears. I love Justin Fields. I love what they do, but I think they just have too many holes to fix. So I think you guys could definitely sweep them. The Packers, I think they'll give you, a little bit more of a fit. Even though I know a lot of people are ready to write them off because there's no more Aaron Rodgers. A lot of that personnel is still there, and they still got some good talent.
Got good defense.
Yeah, still got a solid defense. So I could probably see you guys splitting with Green Bay. And when it comes to Minnesota, y'all always play them very tough. Y'all always have one possession games. Here's what scares me with Minnesota. I saw literally Kirk Cousins getting his bell rung every play with that porous offensive line in that documentary series on Netflix. Hell, we saw it in the season. I mean, he was getting just beat the hell up. The man was doing any and everything.
He looked like Spence out there.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that later too.
Right.
But, he that scares me. And so I have to go Lions first, Vikings 2. I'm gonna go Green Bay 3, and then I'm gonna go Packers 4.
I'm not sold on the Vikings, man. They had a fire sale last year, man. They got rid of a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people on their defense. I get you, but I'm looking at a lot of the good offensive weapons that's been keeping them in games. So it's
Jefferson and
Dalvin Cook. Yeah, you're right. Who's no
Jefferson
longer
and
They lost Cook. They lost Thielen.
T.J. Hawkinson.
Rumors that they're going to trade
Jefferson
Daniel
and
Hunter.
I ain't counting Hawkinson. Hawkinson like the block.
They lost Cook. They lost Thielen. There's rumors that they're going to trade Daniel Hunter. They're getting rid of some big fish.
They're in a little bit.
They just gave him pretty much a 1-year extension. He'll probably be there for probably this year. He'll probably be gone next year though. For Daniel Hunter, he'll probably be gone next year. But they
like in a transition.
It's Danielle. I'm not saying it different because his parents say it different. You spell it, it's Danielle.
Your name's Danielle. You're a guy.
You can't just spell it the same as Danielle and pronounce it differently. You can't spell my name Nick and call me Mary. That's not how shit works.
I mean, it's spelled Nick. I call you bitch. So I mean, so I guess you got a point.
Yeah, let me make my point. Let me remove myself so I can call you what I call you. So good.
It feels so good.
Fucking vegan. I call this. I'm a fucking vegan.
All right, Nick. Kind of lay down. Your way too early predictions on the NFC North division wise standings.
I like the Lions. I do. But as a gambler, I love the odds on the Bears. I love what they've done with the line. I love them bringing DJ Moore in.
This by the gambling perspective?
I am picking the Bears to win the division. I really am. Oh, wow. I just think that Fields is going to have one of those.
You're not smoking weed no more?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just think that Justin Fields, now that he's got a credible wide receiver with DJ Moore, that Cole Kmet is now the number 2 there. I think that they can do some really nice things. And I think that Fields is going to have like a Jalen Hurts type of season with running and throwing it. I think the second year running this system, getting him a credible threat, don't forget, they went out and got A.J. Brown for Hurts. He went to the moon, right? They went out and got DJ Moore. DJ Moore's a very good NFL wide receiver.
I like DJ.
He's dealt with a lot of horrible quarterbacks in Carolina. He's dealt with a lot of guys who are not worthy of starting in the NFL, yet he still produces. I think Justin Fields is an underrated passer. They put a lot of investments into their offensive line. And I just think that they can surprise a lot of people. And when you have a weapon like Fields, if he progresses another 25% with his passing attack, with his ability to run, I think that you could be looking at a very, very elite player in this league. Now, that's not the shit on anyone else in the division. I think the Vikings last year caught lightning in a bottle. You guys were mentioning it just as I was coming in, that all the games they won by one score. That's an anomaly, right? You don't structure your season on like, let's hope we kick 7 field goals in the last 13 seconds. That's not how you win games in the NFL. Let's hope Josh Allen fumbles it into the end zone. That shit's not happening again, right? So they very well could be a 7-8 win team that just got lucky 4 or 5 extra games last year. So that doesn't happen year after year after year. You're either putting the hammer down on people or you're squeaking by with luck to get those wins. So that's how I view the Vikings. I think there could be a competitive team, but I think they lose 4 or 5 of those games that they squeaked by with last year.
That's fair.
I look at the Packers, and this has nothing to do with Rodgers going to the Jets. You guys know before he was a Jet how much I appreciate him as a football player. I think you're going to see that Aaron Rodgers' quality of play carried that team more than people will want to admit. And I think you're looking at a pathetic team this year. I really, truly do. I think you're looking at a bottom 7 team in the NFL.
Wow. Bottom 7?
I think Rodgers, I think they're going to be a top 7 pick. Like I think they're going to be down that far. I just can't see. I think Rodgers kept them afloat. And when the wheels were coming off, Watson finally started clicking last year. And that's when Rodgers started being himself again. But I just don't see them being a quality football team this season. I really don't.
All right, go ahead and rank it. 1, 2, 3,
I look
4.
when it comes down, it's going to come down to Bears and Lions, in my opinion. And I think I think that's what it is. I think whoever, if either can take 2 out of the 2 games head to head, will win the division. But I really think the Bears are that team that could be a worst to first type of team.
Okay, fair. Detroit Mail. Let's take it home and then we'll talk some other sports topics.
Let me add one more thing. I'm sorry. Let me add one more thing. I did bet Aiden Hutchinson as Defensive Player of the Year. I love the kid, and if he does what he does those last 6-7 games, I had a $5 free bet, Mike. I took Arthur Smith as Coach of the Year with B. John Robinson. I think Atlanta is going to do really well. I took Trevor Lawrence as MVP, and I took Aiden Hutchinson as Defensive Player of the Year. So those were my pay. It was $5 to win $50,000. So let's ride, Aiden. Let's go, buddy. 20 sacks, 4 picks.
Hell yeah. Let's take it.
Yeah. 5 flipping it that much. Yeah. Hey,
just not against Justin Fields.
I bring it home, Detroit Mail. Let's give us our way to it.
I like to preface my statement with a fuck Nick. So now I got that out the way.
I'm glad you feel better now.
I don't disagree with what he said about it's going to come down to the Bears and Lions. I think the Bears are improved. I think they are a better looking team than they were last year. Justin Fields still got to prove to me he can make those throws that he needs to make when the run is not an option. Okay, if you look at that second game the Lions played against the Bears, they kind of contained him a little bit, especially better than the first game. The first game, he's running all over him. The second game, they had a game plan. They kind of contained him and forced him to pass, and he did not step up to the part. Now, that's without what they have now. Now the Lions are more improved on defense, more improved in that secondary, even more improved now because you got a healthy Pascal who didn't really play. You got a Harris who didn't really play. So you have those plus what you had last year. So I think that the Lions, if you just oppose both teams, I think the Lions is a better looking team personnel wise on paper. So that's why I think the Lions will win the division. Then I'll have the Bears, and I think it's a toss up between the Packers and Minnesota because they look at the Packers. We don't know what Justin Fields. I mean, not Justin Fields. We don't know what Love's gonna look like. We can assume by what we saw, but we don't know. He's been sitting there so long, didn't get a lot of playing time. He may come out and do better what we think. I don't think he's gonna light it up, but he may do better what we think, which may push him past the Vikings. And then the Vikings, I don't think they have enough there, man. I just don't think they have enough there. They got rid of too many pieces, if you look at last year, how they got lucky a lot last year, and like Nick said, I agree with him twice, but I have to. Like Nick said, a lot of those games that were close are not going to probably flip this year. So you got that happening, and they lost a lot of players. So I'm gonna have to say Minnesota at the bottom. So Packers, then Minnesota. That's how I see it shaking out.
I thought you was gonna put Minnesota down there for your hate of Kirk Cousins, but
No.
You gave logical reasons. You gave reasons. I thought that you were gonna be, Detroit Mountain, but fuck Kirk Cousins, put him at the bottom. I thought
no.
I just want to chime in on what Mel said when he said we don't know what love is. It doesn't surprise me your ugly ass doesn't know what love is. Nobody can love you.
Love got to.
I thought it's that 5 seconds of
What does Mel do when he goes out to Mel goes out to dinner with a woman? It's like, here, you're gonna have this pill, and I'm gonna eat this grass.
Anyway, Mike, I know you got to get out of here real soon, but before you do, man, kind of give us your overall kind of perspective on the upcoming season in the NFL. What got you excited, and what are you? And give us kind of like your biggest take that you think nobody's really talking about.
I'm really excited for a Lions fan and a lot of Lions fans, and something that we haven't had in ever is a season where we're hyped up to actually being predicted to win something. I mean, having the first game of the year versus Kansas City Chiefs is just huge for us. So for me, I just want to take it all in. And that's what I'd say to Lions fan. Just sit back, take it all in, because I think it's going to be a really good year. And we haven't had that at all, ever, unless you're like in 1990s watching the game. So it's been a really long time. And, perspective of the NFL, I think we don't know what Justin Fields is, and I know it's a Chicago Bears thing. He could be really good. If he takes that next step, it could be scary for the NFC North. If he takes that Jalen Hurts step, and I truly hope it doesn't happen, because I don't want to see this, it could be doom for the Lions, but maybe he'll revert back. So I think that's something I'm watching there, is how he develops into a quarterback, and could he be the next Jalen Hurts? Could he be that next Patrick Mahomes? And if so, oh God, please, God, no.
Oh yeah, Hey, because first you're like, damn it, we just got rid of Aaron Rodgers.
I know.
It's our time.
Damn it.
But no, we really appreciate it, Mike.
Yeah,
we know you got to get out of here, man. And appreciate your insight. Appreciate you, of course, joining the banter that we always have on this show. So you fit in.
Get right in.
Hey man, the door is always open for you here at I.O.W. The door is always
Mike,
open.
I say this with love, man. I love your background, but as a Jet fan, I've seen many games at halftime where the stadium looks like that. So that's how halftime looks like in Detroit. Get a new picture with fans in the stands.
You didn't realize I'm actually at Ford Field right now?
The band's out on the field behind you. They're eating the turkey on Thanksgiving, and that's how the stadium is.
It's been a rough time.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Well, we
Enjoy
appreciate
it, man.
you, Mike.
Enjoy
Man.
it. I think you guys can have a really special season and a nice future, man. Good luck to you.
Hey, the door is always open, Mike, I.O.W., for you to jump and on any kind of content we're doing. You're more than welcome. We do shows Monday and Thursday. And real quick, before you get out of here, let the audience know where they can find you at again.
Chat Sports, chatsports.com, or go on YouTube. That's where I'm there. You just put Chat Sports for the Lions. I pop up, or Lions Nation Unite. That's the website, as well as just Herman Moore. That's who I work with. Find me on those platforms, and hey, you get your Lions fix.
Nice. Hey, and if you ever need somebody, a guest speaker, man, I'll be there for you.
Hey, no problem, man. Just hit me up. I'm always willing to have people on.
Nice.
All right, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. It's nice to have a Lion fan on here who knows what he's talking about. It's really cool.
The drugs do help me, I guess.
No, this is because you're above me.
Thanks to Mike, man.
It was.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in with all his content. Don't be shocked if you see him join I.O.W. Sports again. Definitely enjoyed that time with him. But man, let's move on to sports talk, because as last Thursday, the three of us, we already had our discussion on Sean Payton pretty much coming out of his mouth, last Thursday, and said some things. But over the weekend, he said this. And I'm gonna come to you, Nick, after we listen to this, because I got to get your reaction to this. So this is what that's what Sean said this weekend.
That made the papers. I was just wondering why you.
Yeah, listen. I had one of those moments where I still had my Fox hat on, and not my coaching hat on, and I said this to the team in the meeting yesterday. We've had a great off season relative to that, and I've been preaching that message, and here I am, the veteran, stepping in it, and it was a learning experience for me. It was a mistake. Obviously, I needed a little bit more filter. There's a pound of flesh for these guys, and as a coach, you stick up for them. And after a while, we're past that season last year, and I said what I said, and obviously I needed it a little bit more restraint, and I regret that. That being said, what I told the team is, if it can happen, and I think I'm pretty good relative to working with the media and pretty savvy, and I just had one of those moments. Jared's a good friend, real good at his job, and 2 lattes in the morning, first one I see, and 40 minutes later I'm regretting it. So it is what it is.
Support.
It is what it is.
You have the Rogers audio or no?
Oh, do you want me to play that first and then
play that first, and then I'll rebuttal. Yeah, I was gonna dig it up for you, but if you have it, drop that first, and then I'll reply to all of it in one shot.
Oh! Trust me, you know what? I got you, baby.
I'm going in. So let's just get all the facts out on the table, and then let's get all the quotes out there, and then I'm gonna do me.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
Off camera.
No.
Mel, I hope those flames are real one day, brother.
I hope that's the bridge you jumping off of too.
Oh.
You think I can walk out to the middle of that bridge? That's pretty bold, dude.
Are we really doing this? Are we
It's called time fill while you're digging it up. Me and Mel know how to do time fill. It's an unwritten rule. When Lamar's digging up a link, we attack one another. You know how this show operates.
But I will say this. Come on, Sean. Really?
Oh, don't worry.
Let Nick say what he's gonna say first.
Don't worry.
It's just like. I had I had my Fox hat on still, and maybe I should,
okay.
Bruh.
Right, what we doing? Is that what we're doing?
That's what we doing. But of course,
what are you, a liberal, Sean Payton? You're blaming Fox for everything now.
That was out of line. Yeah, you see Hackett out here. He's still pumped up. I don't think it affects him as much as maybe it affects everyone on the outside. And yet you and him have this great bond and union together where you've always had his back. He's always had yours.
Yeah, I love Nathaniel Hackett. And those comments were very surprising. For a coach to do that to another coach. My love for Hack goes deep. We had some great years together in Green Bay, kept in touch. Love him and his family. He's an incredible family man, incredible dad. And on the field, he's arguably my favorite coach I've ever had in the NFL. Just his approach to it, how he makes it fun, how he cares about the guys, just how he goes about his business with respect, with leadership, with honesty, with integrity. And it made me feel bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in the league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up for some sort of easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team this year. I thought it was way out of line and inappropriate, and I think he needs to keep my coach's names out of his mouth.
Oh, it's spicy over here, Rogers. Oh, okay. So I gotta admit to this.
He put Will Smith on him.
No, to be honest, I've only heard the keep my coach's name out of your mouth part. That's the only part I've ever heard of this audio. That's the only one I've ever heard. Now hearing all that, ooh, it's spicy over here. Ooh, Aaron. Ooh. All right, Nick, floor is yours, bro. Talk to us.
And that's all I have to say about that. So here's my take. Number one, I don't care if you like the Jets or not. How can you not love what Aaron Rodgers just said?
Ooh.
That's the perfect response to a childish coach who's in over his head, who rips bong hits with 15 and 16-year-old kids in his house. Because if you haven't seen that video, I can send it to you.
I saw that video.
Of course you did. You were there taking the video. So we're not in your division.
Females.
We're not in your division. We're not your opening day game. If you know anything, you know that we didn't want Hard Knocks. So it's not like we begged Hard Knocks, come pick us, come pick us.
Yeah,
we were telling the league, get that shit out of here. We don't want it.
Right.
We dictated terms to Hard Knocks. It's like, you're not getting the video in the coach's room. You're not airing guys getting cut. The Jets believe that's inhumane. The Jets wanted nothing to do with that. So the Jets were not asking for Hard Knocks. So the comment, I know you didn't have that comment with what Sean originally made, but I think we played it last week.
Yeah.
With what they're doing over there and trying to win the offseason. They got a pretty good foundation at the Jets. A lot of teams last year, Mar, yourself included. When we had Hall and Vera Tucker, you and I were talking about playing in the playoffs. When we were 5-2, you were like, this team stays as it is. They're running the ball. You know they're going to run the ball, and you can't stop them from running the ball. And the defense is good enough to control anybody.
Well, quite honestly, the conversations we were having last year. I'm sorry, Nick, not to cut you off. It's just the conversations we were having last year is at the end of the name, at the end of the day, because I think we were having that conversation like week 3 or week 4 or something like that, and you guys were on fire. And
after we won in Green Bay, ironically.
Matter of fact, after you won in Green Bay, that was right. Because we were talking about how Sauce Gardner was walking around with the cheese head and had Packers fans mad, and Packers players were mad. They tried to snatch it off his head. And you looked at how that defense was playing. And you looked at how that offense was clicking on all cylinders, and that was with
Zach Wilson, the worst rated quarterback in the NFL in the league last year.
Because I remember Flacco started, and then Wilson played, and then pretty much once Wilson got in his head and things just kind of fell apart, it was too late. Mike White couldn't even save it. He got hurt, and he wasn't effective. So that couldn't save it. It was just, that was the conversation. If you stay healthy and have adequate quarterback play. But no, you're right. Go ahead. My fault.
So you're trying to compare the Jets to the failure in your own building. That you gave up such a large amount for a quarterback who is either 12th or 13th season. Sean Payton's only had success as a head coach with Drew Brees. Say what you want about Drew Brees and not winning more with being such an elite passer, but let's run down the type of quarterback Drew Brees was. Accurate, efficient, ball out on time, field general, didn't really escape the pocket much. You have the complete antithesis of that in Russell Wilson. You have a guy who's never got the ball out on time. You got a guy who's never been a quick read and release guy. You got a guy who has the longest release time in the NFL in the majority of his 12, 13 seasons in this league. You think you're going to turn him into read and react and release and a quick release all of a sudden? You picked the wrong job. You picked the wrong quarterback. You should have had your agent go to the Chargers and say, you know what? I'm interested. They would have looked for a reason to drop Staley and bring you in. And you could have worked with Herbert. But now you know, after being around and seeing what goes on in this building, ownership is clueless. They've hired the wrong people for many years making their football decisions. It's a miracle that they have a very good defense. They can't draft an offensive line to save their goddamn lives. They can't keep receivers healthy. The poor Tim Patrick just ruptured his Achilles after tearing his ACL in the first preseason game last season. And then you release KJ Hamler a couple hours later because he's got a swelling condition around his heart. So you released him with a non-football injury. This shit show in Denver, it's a shame you're not in a bigger market, because if more people cared about that stupid fucking town, it's not even a city to me, it's a fucking town. If more people cared about it, it'd be bigger news.
Oh yeah.
But you're racing with the Vegas Raiders for fucking last place in your division. And you're trying to bark now? You're trying to bark at this team? You know what? If I'm Robert Saleh, I'm sending you a fucking edible arrangements and a fucking box of pre-rolled joints, and I'm saying thank you. Because I got all the eyes in the football world focused on Florham Park. We're going to be on Hard Knocks. I'm going to try, and I'm a coach, so I'm going to speak as a coach. There's been many times that I've been in front of my team, and I'm trying to think of something to unite these kids. I'm trying to think of something to bring them together. I'm trying to think of something that can give a us against the world mentality. Robert Saleh just got a gift from Sean Payton because you are uniting this locker room better than any speech that Coach Saleh could get up in front of them and say. You want to be the enemy on the outside?
Go ahead.
You want to tell us what you're thinking about us instead of saving that for your locker room when you're in front of your own team? Thank you. Because the last thing you want to do is piss off a number 4 defense that's going to be much better this year. The last thing you want to do is leave your quarterback who likes to hold the ball behind your offensive line that can't fucking block for him to get hit by these dogs that we're going to be sending after you.
Bro, week 5 is going to be something else.
It's going to be a fucking blowout.
Week 5 is going to be.
It's going to be a blowout. You
Well,
remember Major League?
yeah.
He goes out and he said, the catcher says to him, like, you're standing on the tracks right now and there's a train coming through. That's going to be Mile High City.
Hey, man.
They don't know what the fuck they're in store for now. And I hope Robert Saleh breaks
unleashes the
fucking his hand in the handshake after the game. I want to see Peyton buckle and go down to 1 knee.
Didn't y'all beat the Broncos last year?
We did, but Russ didn't play that game. We beat the backup quarterback. That was the game that Breece Hall broke the 68-yard touchdown run. He had like 3 carries for 72 yards. And then on the 4th carry, his knee went. The next play, Vera Tucker's chest pecker tricep tore. And we won the game 16-9, I believe. Yeah, and Sauce broke up a pass in the end zone with like 30 seconds left that they tried to win it or tried to tie it.
Let me say this real quick. AP, you saw me do the thumbs up. Derek Gore was a solid running back. He was like 3rd on the depth chart, but he got some good playing time a couple of years ago, not last year. But the reason why you signed him is because he knows Eric Bieniemy's he knows the offense that Eric Bieniemy is going to run. So he did well for us. It's just that our running back by committee situation, they just wanted to upgrade it. We got Pacheco, so he was an odd man out. But yeah, you'll like him.
That's not Frank's son, is it?
No. Okay. It's just a coincidence. His last name's Gore. But I will say this: Sean Payton. My thing is like you've been around long enough in the NFL as a coach to know not to give another team bulletin board material. All right, you've been around long enough. You kind of know that coaching etiquette, and you know that one's wrong. All right, we said this last Thursday, so I'm not going to rehash everything I said last Thursday. But I'll say this: come on, don't come back with the weak ass apology, bro.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate that. I'm
just own it. Just stand on it.
It was fake. It was unbelievable. It was
like somebody talked to him. It's like somebody talked to him. They need to say something.
Hey,
it was faker than me and Mel apologizing to each other after ripping into one another. It was so forced.
Bro, see, this is what I hate. Because me and Mel, we can relate to this. All right, we've been in the same work environment, and what you say, you better stand on it. So my thing is like 2 of us got 10 toes. You supposed to stay 10 toes down on this shit. All right.
What the fuck is that?
And so
what is that about? We got toe jokes. What the fuck did I do to you?
Yeah. Hey man, you can still 9 toes down.
Wow.
You can stand 9 toes down. It's cool.
What if you got 9 toes? You're not welcome to put your feet down.
Well, you can. You just gonna have less
one less toe.
Okay. So, hey man.
So your stance might be a little shaky.
Go ahead, Mark. Finish your fucking point.
Hey man. All right. So, fact of the matter is, whether you got 10 or 9 toes, you stay 10 or 9 toes down on that shit. What you say is what you say. You stand on it. All right? You stand on it. Right. And the fact that you went with this bullshit ass, fake ass, copy ass, paste and quick what is it? The GP tat, the same shit that Ja used for his damn apology and shit.
Right.
The Chat GPT, whatever the AI shit is that Ja was using. You really went to the camera and said this? Oh, but my God! Oh, thank you. I had Aaron Rodgers audio because damn it, he dropped motherfucking Mike on his ass. He said, nah, man, I ain't even worried about the situation because obviously he's trying to compensate for something and just in case it fails, and he's trying to. Hey, when he said that, oh, we get spicy, cuz. Oh, hey man, you
got Kansas City twice. You got the Chargers twice.
Bruh.
You got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots.
Bruh.
You're looking at a tough run already.
Mm-hmm.
2, 4, 6. That's only 10. There's 7 more games I'm unaware of.
Bruh. They got the
you can't tell me Drew Brees. Russ is all of a sudden gonna fire from the pocket and hit Judy on time on slants. Russ does not do that.
Hey,
Sean Payton's gonna lose his fucking mind coaching this guy.
Here's another tidbit because I'm glad you brought up Tim Patrick getting hurt because that's unfortunate. Which
sucks, right? I hate that shit.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you right here. 2 years ago, Tim Patrick was the best wide receiver on that squad. I'm talking over Jerry Jeudy. He was the best. As a matter of fact, they ended up paying him because of how great he was.
Yeah,
and he's had 2 bad injuries.
He was a great deep threat. He was like he looked like an Andre Johnson in the making.
Thank you. Matter of fact, he was the one that exposed Trayvon Diggs for being a double hit that you could kill him on a double move. Yeah. He was the one that did it and exposed it. But
very, very good player.
Very good player. Unfortunate news. So, Sean, worry about that because now you got a bigger problem. Because it was just a few weeks ago, I heard you was trying to get rid of Cortland Sutton because he wasn't in your offense.
You try to get rid of Russell Wilson because he don't fit your offense either.
Oh, you was trying to get rid of Cortland Sutton because he didn't fit your offense. Now you got to get stuck with him, a guy that you didn't like, as your number 1 receiver. Because I don't care what nobody say, Jerry Jeudy just ain't blossomed yet. They keep talking about he's going to have this breakout season. I see flashes. I see no substance. Thank you for the plug right there, Nick. But it's like, come on, like, matter of fact, let's take it back. Didn't we all 3 of us have this conversation a year ago in the offseason when we was like, Sean Payton, either Dallas or Chargers. Don't go to Denver. It makes no damn sense.
I wouldn't do Dallas either. I wouldn't do Dallas. I know Dallas wanted him, but I didn't think Dak was the type of
more sense in Denver. It'd made more sense in Denver.
Oh, yeah. Dak can get rid of the ball on time from the pocket, but I just thought Sean Payton going to Dallas would lead to bigger headaches for him than it would successes. I thought somebody like the Chargers, who like the Rams were just coming off a Super Bowl win, and that they could have came in and been like the number 2 team in town with less pressure.
We all can agree that we would have went other teams besides Denver. We said Denver was the first one. We've all said that together on the show. I remember this very vividly. Yeah. And so the fact that he still went and do it, matter of fact, we even came back and had the show, and we were still all surprised that he took the Denver job.
Yeah.
So
I remember saying this. If Pete Carroll didn't want to coach you after 12 years, why would anyone else? Pete knows you, right?
Right. That's a good point.
You got to win now.
I don't know, man.
It ain't happening, Mark. It ain't happening, bro.
Look, bro. I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that the fact that he's gone out and said this, you got to win now, and you can't come up with 7-8 wins now. You got to get double digits, and you got to be a wild card team because you got to back up because you put your squad in a position they got to cash the check that your mouth can't, or anything about Sean Payton can't cash his check. Nothing about it because he's a coach. Yeah, you can draw up the plays, but they got to execute. So now you got to have the best coaching job of your career. And the crazy thing is, Nick, to your point, we looked at the 1 Super Bowl from New Orleans, but you've always been in contention, And Mel, you brought up last Thursday. Don't try to be the hypocrite now. You missed the hit gate.
Right.
Whatever the hell they call it. Bounty gate. Yeah, you missed the bounty gate. Don't act like you didn't have no part in that. Come on, bro. You don't get suspended a whole year if you ain't had no part in that. Come on.
Facts.
So you have part in that. So let's not talk about the worst coaching job in history and disrespect nobody like that. Could things gone different in Denver? Yeah, but it wasn't on Nathaniel Hackett. Russell Wilson did not look good. Be honest about the situation.
He didn't have to say nothing.
He didn't have to say shit.
He had to say nothing. And to me, it's like, look at some of the things he said and some of the moves he made since he been there. It's kind of maybe exposing, is he as good as we everybody think he is?
Ooh.
You know, because some of these decisions you make are not very smart decisions.
Hey, all I can say is if we put because I've done it on the show, if I put that same hate on Mike McCarthy only getting one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, well, damn it, I gotta have that same energy. Why the hell you only got one Super Bowl with Drew Brees?
I mean, he's touted as this
as a good
genius, a guru, all that. To me, there's nothing good come out of what he did.
It makes me look at Sean Payton different.
There's nothing good that can come out what he did. And you can take the Jets out of it. It was another team. What good is coming out of crapping on another team? And you got all the stuff going on in your house. Take care of what's going on in your house. That's how you handle that. That shows to me a good leadership and good coaching. I'm saying, you know what? If they bring it up, you be like, you know what? I need to take care of what's going on in my house.
Mm-hmm.
No, that shows that you not only supporting your team, it shows that you have enough self control within you not to speak on certain things. It shows so much if you just say stuff like that. And he didn't do that. He took the opportunity to say something stupid. And then when you come back, here's your time to redeem yourself.
Oh no,
how do I say it? Stand on it.
He didn't redeem shit.
I'm saying when it comes back around, you stand on it.
Yeah.
And then the fact you ain't stand on it, you come with some bullshit explanation why you said it, or I have my Fox hat on.
Nah,
you ain't in Fox Studio.
He was summarizing somebody else's words because he wasn't speaking from the heart because he didn't feel that shit.
For sure.
But are we really expecting the guy who was the face of Bountygate, who got suspended for a year, to have a moral high ground?
Mm-hmm.
You are who you are.
Right.
God bless you, Benny Green. He is who we thought he is.
Same thing we say about Belichick.
Human being.
Same thing we say about Belichick. And many times you get caught cheating, you are who you are.
You are who we thought you were. You are a piece of shit human being.
Mm-hmm.
You rode Drew Brees' coattails. You had a 1 seed and first round buys many times. I'm going back to the days when I was a kid. Only 6 teams made the playoffs and 2 got buys. Back then, you had a first round bye many times and you disappointed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had home field advantage and you disappointed. You are an overrated coach. You rode the coattails of an all-time great quarterback, and you couldn't deliver time and time again. So you chose this team. You chose it. You told them, all right, I'll come coach you. Yeah, let's do it. Trade for me. You gave up assets to coach this team.
Right.
And then maybe after being in that locker room and being in the film room and having all the information in hand, you realized, oh, shit, we ain't going to win a goddamn thing. So I'm going to create my Super Bowl in week 5 against the New York Jets.
Oh, man. So, I mean, it's here's another thing I got to add to this situation. So, Michael Lombardi and like other NFL, people, big wigs, they talking all this. Oh, Sean Payton's a very intelligent, smart guy. He's very methodical.
He's playing 3D chess.
He's playing chess. He did this for a reason. Man, y'all shut the hell up.
Start riding this nigga dick.
Look, if that's your buddy,
why the Jets? Let me ask you.
Why the Jets?
That's my thing.
It's your division, Mar. Let me throw a question at you. I like doing this little segment where I throw a question at you because you're always asking them. It's your division, so you get the floor on this.
Okay.
You ain't got the balls to go with the Chiefs because you know they can wipe you by 40. You ain't got the balls to piss off the Chargers. You think you're looking down at the Raiders, but you might be eye to eye with them. Why do you go at the Jets? Why do you go at them?
Because of connection.
Peyton don't have a connection with the Jets.
He don't have no connection. I'm confused.
He got connection with the Giants. He was there for a while with the Giants as an assistant. but he ain't got no connection with the Jets.
Okay.
I have no idea. Well, and that's what confuses me about this nigga. I have no idea what would prompt him to even.
I thought him and what's name was cool.
Was Salah?
No, the dude he was talking about.
Hackett,
yeah.
I mean, they've been contemporaries, but I don't think
they weren't cool. I thought they were cool.
I don't think they've ever been on the same staff together.
No, because Hackett's been in Green Bay for the majority of the time. And
Okay.
I don't. But that's
Hackett's from the Shanahan tree too. Like all of those guys, LaFleur, Shanahan's, Hackett, they all came up kind of through the same coaching tree.
And Sean Payton comes from Bill Parcells' tree.
I think McVay and Hackett were together years ago in Washington. I think you'd have to. I know Shanahan and LaFleur and McVay were all together with Washington. I forget if Hackett was also a part of that.
He might have been.
I don't know.
Then I don't know. Then I really don't.
That's where the true confusion that comes from all this is because you have
fucked his wife. I don't know. But
regardless, like I'm willing to bet that he was probably asked a question and he just silliness just answered it. And
I'm still with Nick Double. Why the Jets?
That's some crazy. Let me answer the question here, Lamar, if you don't mind. That's not something you say off the cuff. I've heard the man. I've heard it like a dozen times now.
He had to been asked about that. That's what
he said that before amongst family, friends, other coaches. He's went on this rant. I know a rant more than anyone when you say it for the first time, and I know a rant when that shit's been rehearsed.
Okay, I got you. So this is what happened. When he got offered the job, he looked at everything. He was like, you know what? I think I can turn this around. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. It's Russell Wilson. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one. It can't be that bad. Let's make some transactions. Let's get who we get. And then all of a sudden, Hackett is, the Jets are doing well. They're getting a lot of publicity. He's part of it now. Aaron Rodgers goes there, and then all of a sudden he goes, wait, why is this? He's getting all this publicity. Wait, look at this shit job you left me, you son of a bitch. That's probably why he's mad, because he finally realized that, I don't know if I can turn this motherfucker around, bro. I'm pretty sure this is what I'm getting to if I'm trying to connect the dots. Obviously, I got nothing that I can put together or create any type of evidence. I'm just going off with real people shit, RNS, all right? And you connect the dots. I'm thinking right now that Sean is really looking around and he's like, okay, Russell really ain't that guy no more. I was thinking like Legion of Boom Russell. Now, but I will say this, if he's smart, if he's the real offensive guy that he really think he is, you better ride the shit out of Javonte Williams. Ride the shit out of Javonte Williams. He's coming off an injury, but he's going to be stronger. He's going to be healthier. And the way that he was playing before he got hurt, he was a bowling ball. Like he was like almost like Michael Turner, Jerome Bettis running abilities in a Michael Turner body. And he was hard to tackle, and it was like, like you don't want to be tackling this dude in the fourth quarter. There is not the dude you want to be trying to tackle in the fourth quarter.
I'm not going to say the same level, but I saw a little bit of Sean Alexander.
Fair. I can see what you're saying. Fair.
Not as big yet, but he's still young. Sean was 4 years in when he went on those 28 touchdown seasons. But Sean was in his, and he was a man body then. Javonte's still growing. But I saw shades of that patience and then that power.
Mm-hmm.
You go patience to power real quick. And Sean Alexander was one of the best ever.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Johnson did that too. Larry Johnson had a lot of patience to power that when they decided to put that foot in and go, God bless the guy in front of him.
Yeah. And the thing is that Sean, you can't, like you said, Nick, he had this conversation with somebody before, because I'm pretty sure either wife or the little kids he was ripping the bong with, it was like, so Uncle Sean, hey, how the Broncos looking? We're no longer Saints fans because we're no longer in New Orleans, and you took the year off, but now we're in Colorado. How's the team? And he's like, man,
let me tell you something, man. Fuck the Jets.
Hey,
That's not what he did.
bruh, I'm pretty sure he did it. He was like, hey, man, these motherfuckers ain't shit. Look, at least I'm getting paid, though. I'm getting my money, though. I'm getting money, though. I know that, man. We ain't going to be shit, but I'm going to get this money, though. He had to been thinking some kind of way like that.
I got a point, AP.
I think Sean was looking at that team and said Hackett couldn't win here in Denver and watch me work. Yeah, that's what I think. I think his arrogance and it got to him. You know, some people might call it confidence. To me, I think confidence and arrogance are got a little bit of gray line to it.
They two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they two sides of the same coin. But his arrogance part and not his confidence part really got the best of him and said, hey, man, I can really do it. And I get it. You want to stick up for your squad, but damn it, you got a lot of work to do. Worry about that. Like you said, man, worry about what you because I think Denver still got some issues.
They got a lot of issues
to work out amongst in that organization right now that you got to worry about before you even worry about another team that's in another conference. I get it.
Right.
You see them week 5, but that's one game. You know how I see it right now. I think the Jets are closer to a playoff team than what Denver is. Worry about your shit.
I can name 10 teams as close to a playoff run as Denver is.
You can't throw stones in the glass house.
For real. And I'm not even joking about it. I'm serious.
Anthony Price, 100%. That offense was not good. But let's add this. Russell Wilson was running the offense.
And he was not good.
Russell Wilson holds the ball too long. The line wasn't blocking. Williams got hurt. It went on Russell's arm, and it wasn't there. Sometimes coordinators and quarterbacks don't click, and they might take a little while to do it. I'm grateful that Denver fired Hackett when they did. Some guys in this league, which we've discussed, before Hackett even became the Jets offensive coordinator, we had this discussion about many coaches. And the both of you, even though you hate agreeing with me, Mel, it's going to be the third time in the show. Some guys are not meant to sit at the head of the table. Some guys peak at coordinator with one side of the ball. So yeah, he's agreeing with me. That's why he removed himself. All right, that's a win. That's a win. But hate me and hate on me all you want. But some guys are not. I know you do. You do it well. Kudos to you, brother. But I will say this: you can say you hate me all you want, but you made me a dope ass background without me even asking. So I know you love me. I know you love me.
I'm playing 3D chess like Sean Payton.
But
he cares about you so much.
Not
man.
everyone is meant to be a head coach.
He made you a T-shirt. Yo, he ain't never done none of that shit for me, dog.
Well,
I guess he do know. I did a lot for you. Oh, yo, hold up. I guess he do know what love be. All right. Wade Phillips, horrible head coach.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best defensive coordinators ever. Who else we got?
Leslie Frazier. Todd Bowles.
Horrible. Hackett led the Packers and Rodgers to 2 back-to-back MVP seasons before he got the Denver head coaching job. Very good. Todd Bowles, outstanding defense coordinator, led that defense to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Didn't do a very good job as a head coach with the Jets. I think there's other circumstances. I think Bowles does deserve another chance where there's a good quarterback situation because you take over after Brady's gone.
He was also handed something in Tampa Bay that was pretty nice too. And didn't look so good last year.
I got you
at all.
But there's been many guys throughout the history of the league. Belichick before and after Brady was a below average head coach. Matt Patricia went to the Lions.
Right, though.
Romeo Crennel, who was with Belichick. Basically anyone under Belichick, right? And the cheating scandals that those fucking bitches did. But let me say this about Belichick.
Right, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You guys know this.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody takes the opportunity to shit on or hate on Belichick and the Patriots more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Belichick would never do the shit Sean Payton did publicly.
Oh,
you think Bill Belichick likes that Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets with that defense? No. Bill Belichick ain't gonna say some shit that's gonna blow up in his face now. Josh McDaniels. Yeah, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could sit here for an hour naming guys, right? Some guys are just meant to run their side of the ball and run their own. Rex
I
Ryan,
agree.
even though he went to 2 championship games, Rex Ryan was a defensive coordinator who
I think
just
he
happened.
I still think you can't put him in a bad coach category. Still think he did a decent job with the Jets.
Yeah, but that Buffalo job, ugh.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but look at what he did with the Jets. I think he did a good job, especially compared to the ones we comparing to him now, like Patricia and the rest of them. I think he did a lot better than them.
But a lot of our losses were poor head coaching decisions and lack of preparation and just thinking your defense was going to shut everybody out and the offense only had to get you 3 points. That's poor head coach. That's a defensive coordinator who just happens to have the head coach. I mean, I can get into that for an hour. But short summary, great defensive coordinator, just didn't deserve the head of the table. Didn't know how to conduct himself in front of the microphone. Didn't know how to stay off of people's feet. He would hate mine with my 4 toes right now. Getting the tattoo of his wife in a Mark Sanchez jersey, like very unhead coach like. And this is when the internet had already blown up in 2009 and 10. So he was doing a lot of childish shit as a head coach. So when you look at it, Hackett might go back and Rodgers might go 40 touchdowns, 6 interceptions because he's with Hackett again. We don't know. But he could run this team into the ground as a head coach because he's overwhelmed. So I don't know how you shit on someone, like Roger said, in the coaching brotherhood. It's a real fucking low dirtbag, scumbag thing to do. But like I said before, are we expecting the moral high ground from somebody who put bounties out on the opposition quarterback's head? Hey, I'm going to put a bounty out for the New York Jets defense. Someone over pursue, take Sean Payton out during the game, and I'll get you a freaking Mars bar.
Not the Mars bar.
I've never had one. If it was like a Butterfinger or Reese's or Snickers or Three
You
Musketeers,
never had a Mars bar before?
It's not my. I'm sure I've had one with like Halloween and stuff, but like it's not my go-to. So it's something I would purchase and not eat before handing it over.
So pretty much you prefer not hit Sean Payton get the good candy.
I can't wait. Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner. We make a stop on a 3rd or 4th down. You don't think whoever's on that sideline is going to be barking at Peyton?
Oh, they're going to be barking at him.
Oh, and it's a CBS national game, too. I looked. CBS 425 that day.
You're going to be barking that whole game. Pre-game, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some bulletin board material that week from both sides, to be honest.
Nope. Jets don't operate that way. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. The Jets, that's not Salah's thing. That's going to be, we handle our business on the field. We let our play talk for us. That's all. Quote me. That's all you're going to hear that week. Salah will not get in for the tit for tat. He avoided it now. He'll avoid it at game week. He will let his team do the talking on the field.
I like your boy Robert Salah, but if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. Like I get what you said, but you're corny as hell for that. That was so corny the way you delivered.
What's that from? I know I only pretend to be urban for 2 hours during the show, but you gotta. What's that from?
No, it's from a rap song, and I can't even remember the rapper that even said it. If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. I can't remember it. I can't even remember the song, but I love it because he's just trying to be cool and corny in his own way, but it was corny as hell. But it's all good though. But no, come on, man. Sean Payton, do better, bro. Do better. You gotta do better than this. This shit was trash. There was some other, but the apologies, that was dookie. There was, of course, there was some injuries. Are you guys really concerned about that Joe Burrow injury? Detroit Mail?
Yes.
Okay. Drop
really?
it.
Why?
I don't know, man. Because it just reminds me of his rookie year. You know, let me say this. I haven't heard the update on it. So let me preface by saying that. But when I first saw it, I was like, ooh.
Well, they quote unquote said he'll be out several weeks.
Yeah, see, that's several weeks before the season start. He gonna miss some of the season.
Still 6 weeks. Like today's 6 weeks till the Jets Bills opener. There's a lot of time.
Yeah, I don't know, Nick. Man, that team runs through Joe Burrow. I mean, everything goes to him. That's the team. I mean, you can see this man take 9 sacks and still win a game. No, had a horrible defensive line, still get to a championship game. That team goes through Joe Burrow. So I'll be concerned if I am a Bengals fan. Because like I said, I haven't heard anything anything after what I saw.
Mhm.
But several weeks can mean anything. That's going to be a vague thing they put out. You know, I mean, they said that before they even put out the they did a MRI. So like, he'll be out several weeks. Don't worry about it. Then you know, several weeks come, he walk on it. I can't put no pressure on it.
Yeah.
You know, anything can happen. I mean, I've seen a lot of players getting injured, man.
Yeah. They said it's the calf. They say it's the calf.
Yeah, I seen 2 people already, or 2 or 3 people already say it's the calf.
Well, that's what they saying. They said just be out several weeks. Here's why I'm.
I don't know. I don't know, Ant.
Can I add to that answer real quick, Lamar?
Yeah, go ahead.
Got to be careful with a calf because I mean I know a lot about the calf because, like I said, Quinnen Williams last year missed a Detroit game, and we were all petrified. If you rush somebody back from a calf injury, a lot of times that's when you get the Achilles popping.
Yep.
And if you ain't calfing, you ain't popping. Did I do that right? Hey, sometimes I gotta lay the cheesy jokes out to make you appreciate the fire that I spit. But it's true. If you don't take care of a calf injury the right way, you can damage the Achilles, and that was the concern a lot of Jets fans had with Quinnen only missing 1 week last year with the calf. So
best example, Kevin Durant.
Durant.
Kevin Durant and Golden State had the same issues.
Yeah.
He kept having calf strain after calf strain. True enough, in the finals, and they took it easy. They took their time with Kevin Durant, and then next you know, in the finals, whoop! And so I'm glad you brought that up. And so that actually kind of changes my answer and how I really feel about the injury. Because last week I was just like, all that to me, all I thought there was like, oh man, he'll be out for training camp. He'll be ready for week 1. That's what my initial feelings when they said several weeks. I'm like, because they didn't put a number on it. You know,
that made me suspicious though. That's what made me suspicious.
And because they're all different. It's one of those muscles that it's one of those things with the leg, like if depending what position you play, depending how mobile you need to be, the timetable is different on a calf. That's why it's always 2 to 6 weeks.
What wasn't his right?
That's fine though, but I'm saying if you don't put a number on it, if you say 2 to 6 weeks, I'm cool with that. You put a number on it.
I'm running the video through my head. That's what I was just doing. Yeah, he was running to his left or his right, and the back leg popped up, so it was his throwing side.
Yeah, so that's his plant leg. Yeah. Ooh,
that's your plant twist and torque leg.
That kind of changes things for me on how I really feel about this injury, because I thought because even I think me and MJ had the conversation on a late night show, and we definitely had it on the Twitter space last night. That to me that changes things.
Really?
Because come on, man. To Detroit Mel's point, you've already seen the ACL on one leg on his rookie season. And here's another part that I got to add into it. I know they spent money on Orlando Brown. I still got concerns in that offensive line. I mean, you talking about Orlando Brown gives up the most pressures at left tackle position. You come on. You're talking about Joe Burrow, who's already had an ACL thing. Now he's gotten this calf situation. Hopefully it's nothing further to Achilles tendon. And you talking about protecting him with Orlando Brown. Thank you, Orlando Brown, for what you did in Kansas City. You helped us get a Super Bowl. You helped. But there were some times where I think Patrick Mahomes bailed you out because you were wasn't even getting your hands on people. Speed rush kills him all the time.
It's a lot easier to be a tackle when you got Lamar Jackson running around out there from running away from everybody. He lowers your sacks given up number real quick, right?
Right.
No, I'm dead ass serious. If anybody can get access to 17 regular season games of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick will roll out to
YouTube.
His right. But I'm saying he's rolling out to his right. He's not rolling out to his left. He's rolling out to his right.
So he know better.
He's moving the pocket to the right.
Yeah.
So
I actually just brought it up. It's a link I'll put in the chat, Lamar, for everybody. For the Chiefs. It's team losing to the Jets twice this year.com. Look at his head. Look at his head.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna let you have your fun. All I'm gonna say is hey man, we'll see what happens week 4. That's all I'm gonna say. As a matter of fact, we'll do each other's podcasts and preview that game for sure. So,
definitely.
But no,
it's a shame that we both don't have a bye the week before, where it can be a 2-week buildup.
Trust, because I've been in situations like before I left Carolina, my executive chef, he was an Eagles fan, and me and him were going at it for 2 weeks at the job leading up to the Super Bowl, and then I gave him hell for a week after the Super Bowl, and then I let it die. But it'll be a fun time, but it's just I'm still concerned about that offensive line for Cincinnati. Orlando Brown at left tackle does not make me that so much secure about protecting Joe Burrow. I mean, regardless of what the injury is, we've seen. All right, so obviously we keep it real on this show. That porous offensive line and how good Joe Burrow is, that trash offensive line has cost him a Super Bowl, and it cost him an AFC Championship game last year because they
cost him Achilles.
ACL.
ACL. Yeah, cost him ACL. May cost him a calf strain.
I gotta go with the linebacker hitting Mahomes out of bounds is costing them last year, though.
That added to it.
I mean, granted, we don't know what would have happened in overtime, but
but
you weren't in field goal range, and they weren't playing defense like the Bills. But
I
they
know
just made a bonehead play.
But the reason why I say the offensive line kind of helped aided that loss is because Chris Jones came with a huge sack late in that fourth quarter. That pretty much shut down their offense, and they had to punt it, and it gave the Chiefs the ball back to even have that penalty even happen. So, and then look at the Super Bowl. Literally, Jamar Chase was down the sideline, hands open,
wide open.
Jalen Ramsey, by all means, was sitting on the turf trying to pick up his jock strap, and Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't know why you didn't even double team him on that play, but somehow you put him against your left guard, and next you know, he breaks up that pass, hits Joe Burrow. And so we could be talking about a Super Bowl championship, possibly, and another Super Bowl appearance if you just had adequate enough offensive line protection to protect Joe Burrow for just half a second more. So, look, I think he covers a lot of issues on that offensive line that's just, other teams would have just literally get their season just derailed on how trash that offensive line has been for the Bengals the last 2 years.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about the Chiefs the year that they drafted Humphrey and Smith, right? Like they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucs, and then they brought in Humphrey and Smith, right?
Yeah, they changed it, and not only that, they paid big Tooney. They nailed it. They revamped it immediately.
Yeah.
My thing is what
they did an outstanding job. They really did. And because Smith had heart murmur issues, that's why he fell so far to the fifth round. He was a second grade talent.
Oh yeah.
And for a guard, second round for a guard or center is like basically a first round grade for other positions, right? It's just not highly touted. There's very few guys that go early.
6th round or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you've shored up the interior of your line with a stud center and a stud right guard, and then you bring in Thuney with the left guard, and you got the best interior offensive line in the NFL. Like,
and don't get me wrong,
Eagles are close, but Kelsey's at the end.
Yeah.
So
I'm not downplaying Orlando Brown. I think he's a great
run blocker.
Run blocking, thank you.
He's a great run blocker.
He's a great.
You want to run behind him on 3rd and 1. But if it's 4th and 7, you don't want to roll that way and throw because you're getting lit up.
But on pass blocking, and we're talking about the Bengals now, who have 3 great wide receivers that hit 1,000 yards last year. You got obviously a stud in Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is no slouch. Possibly could be a number 1 on a lot of teams.
Right.
There's times he's number 1 in the Bengals game.
Well, yeah, because he knows that Jamar Chase is going to get doubled. So yeah,
he's just that good. You can't single cover him. You can't double both. He's impressive.
And then Tyler Boyd gets to beat up the middle as a slot receiver because even if you double T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, okay, leave Tyler Boyd alone. He's gonna eat. Yeah. So
and kudos to him because he's got the body for an outside receiver. But when they shit the bed and we're able to land Chase, he's like, I'll learn how to play slot. Sure.
Yeah.
And you usually don't see a guy with that body
play shot,
playing slot. That's a pure outside guy, but his
Oh, yeah.
skill set's transcended. Kudos to him.
and all three of them easily eclipsed 1K last year, easily. So that's your offense. Matter of fact, they were ready to get rid of Joe Mixon. Not obviously his off the field issues were part of it, but the dude, like, come on, the dude took less money to stay. He
If
gave
you
up,
run into Joe Mixon's backyard, we popping.
but like Mixon, he gave back $2 million to the cap so he could stay this year, but he's pretty much gonna be gone. P-Ron left. P-Ron went to Denver, I think. And P-Ron did well. He did well for the Bengals.
Anthony, I can't agree with this comment. They got Trevor Siemian, who's got starting experience with multiple teams in the NFL between Denver and the Jets. You just need another camp arm. When you lose a camp arm, you bring in another guy.
Yeah.
You know, and the XFL player, the season just ended not too long ago.
So he's
in shape. You know his arm's ready to go, and he can do what you need. Just to have another camp arm and throw out another body in these preseason games when you're not putting your main guys out there, because the way injuries are popping off right now, no pun intended with the other way we've used popping throughout the show, but with the way injuries are popping off right now, I mean, not many teams, I'll be honest, I just know the Jets Thursday for the Hall of Fame game are not putting any starters out there.
You shouldn't.
So you're going to be seeing a lot of guys who aren't going to be on rosters playing like almost the entire second half.
Trying to make the
you
roster
just need another arm.
I mean, so my thing is just you just got to take into account Beagles fans, and I know y'all don't like us Chiefs fans right now. Y'all like beefing with us on Twitter for some reason. I don't know why, but end of the day, you got to be real. The Bengals, they like beefing with Twitter with Chiefs fans for some reason. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Top dogs, right? You're both like top dogs near the top, and they knock you out, you knock them out. So it's a good rivalry, right? It's a good non-division rivalry.
I don't know. I mean, we win Super Bowls, but I don't recall them ever winning one. But
but they knocked you out, preventing you from one. Granted, they didn't win it, but you've knocked them out twice. They've knocked you out once. You've both knocked the Bills out. I think you're the two top dogs.
We don't even talk about the Bills no more, man. Bills who?
Buffalo who?
No argument here. Who talks about the third best team in the division?
but no, I know the injury sucks, but I think you still would have ran into a problem at some point in the season with this offensive line. I just said it. It cost you a Super Bowl, and it cost you another Super Bowl appearance because your offensive line has been covered up by how good Joe Flacco is in his mobility in the pocket. He's great in the pocket with his mobility. He has enough mobility to elude and avoid sacks. I've seen Chris Jones whiff on him so many times. All right. I've seen it happen. I've seen Frank Clark whiff on him.
Pedro said Buffalo will win it all.
So it's like I've seen Joe Burrow literally, he's done some things to help make that avoid some sacks. So I think it'd have been the same problem this year that he'd have had to be on top of his mobility.
You feeling that confident about your Bills, Pedro?
Now, man, Pedro's the Raiders fan. He's just trying to rib at Nick.
Oh,
man.
I'm about to say.
He's just trying to rib at Nick.
Motherfucker. That Florida heat's getting to your fat ass, Pedro. You better pipe the fuck down.
But I'll say this. I think now that we kind of like Nick kind of laid it out that with the calf could possibly be an Achilles situation, I think you gotta be real cautious on that injury now. That's why you say several weeks. You just let him rest. Just let him.
You let him rest. You think a player like that can, he get a few reps in, he get right back into it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm not worried about when he comes back for the regular season. He had a slow start last season, and they still ended up in the AFC Championship game.
Most vaginal player. He plays like a bitch.
But
the Burrow thing, 6 weeks. You give him 4 weeks off of it. You give him a week to ramp up the cardio. You give him the week to prep to throw. I don't think I would, unless there's a setback. I don't think there's any way he misses the opener, in my opinion. unless it's something more than a calf.
True. The Jalen Ramsey injury. Now, how you feel about that one, Nick? You think that one's a little bit more significant, or?
Yeah, because now they had to completely the work they did to meniscus. They're saying December at the earliest.
I saw that.
And
wow.
The Jets don't play them. The first time we play them is the day after Thanksgiving on that first ever Black Friday prime game. And I will fully admit I'm a little disappointed that he won't be playing, because I've heard Dolphins fans chirping that they have the best cornerback tandem in the NFL. And I don't even think they have the third best in the division. They might be the fourth best in the division. Because now that the Patriots drafted Christian Gonzalez and the Bills have theirs with Tre'Davious White, and the Jets got Reed and Gardner, Howard is over the hill. He's not the player that he once was. He's just an interception guy, but he's giving up the chunky yardage.
He took a step back last year. He was getting torched a lot more last year.
Every time he took a step back in coverage, he gave up yardage.
No, like his gameplay dropped heavy.
But he still got all pro votes because of his name, just to show how clueless some people are. They vote on name recognition instead of quality of play.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But when I'm looking at Ramsey, we had to hear shit that we beat the Dolphins last year bad when we knocked Bridgewater out and Skylar Thompson had to play. This year, I don't want any easy games. I want to beat the Chiefs with Mahomes. I want to beat the Bills with their full secondary and Josh Allen. I want to beat the Eagles fully healthy. I want to see what the fuck we are.
Yeah, you want no
I want to beat the Dolphins. I want to watch Garrett Wilson run around Ramsey, because if Mike Evans is beating Ramsey, what the hell do you think Garrett Wilson's going to do? Evans isn't a twist, turn, juke. I'm going to run, I'm going to use my body to block you, and I'm going to catch the ball. Simple, right? Right?
Yeah.
And it's bad when your own teammate Tyreek Hill says practice going to be lit on Monday. Meaning I'm going to score time and time again.
I'm going to torch this guy up. He said his name is Eli Happy.
Your head is burnt, bro.
I'm giving up a touchdown. That's hilarious. Hey,
34-17 Jets Monday night, 6 weeks from today. 34-17.
Here we go.
Bills will sweep the Jets. Wow.
Man.
Hey, and he called you fluffy.
Jets.
Hey, he's really trolling you, bro.
They lost to Zach Wilson last year. The Bills lost to Zach Wilson without Breece Hall. Fuck my Pedros if you think that they're going to fucking sweep us. I ain't even letting you get it, man. It's time for my blood pressure pill.
Nah. Look, injuries are part of the situation.
Right.
It's like you said.
It's why you make sure you're a team that's deep. Yeah. So when injuries happen, you got somebody that can step in until that player comes back if they're out for a short period of time or whatever. And I think that's the key issue when you talk about injuries. A lot of fans get hyped up on one player, but you're only as good as that player is available. If you don't have a deep team, you playing on a prayer.
I got you. But I would be I'd be a lot more worried as a Bengals fans right now than I would be as a Dolphins fans.
Oh,
if you ask me.
Dolphins worry about quarterback.
No,
other injuries to worry about.
I don't agree with that.
That first game is going to be a concussion prayer.
Burrow is going to come back. We don't know if Tua is going to play 17. You already lost Ramsey.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we saying, Nick. We saying we're more worried as a Dolphins fan.
I'm more worried as a Bengals fan about Joe Burrow's injury than a Dolphins fan is worried about Jalen Ramsey's injury. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll still say Dolphins because
but hold
on. You're not getting Ramsey back.
Defense was going to make that much of a step forward with Jalen Ramsey. I like Jalen Ramsey, but I don't think he's that same player no more.
No, but moving Howard to a number, trust me, I don't want to give this fucking team credit at all. You know how I roll. But moving Howard to a number 2 corner and knowing that you're going to put Ramsey out there as a number 1 helps the defense overall. Don't forget they traded for Nick Chubb last year. They got another guy. They got the interior.
I be fucking it up too, Bradley Chubb. I be fucking.
Yeah, they traded for him. Nick
Chubb's
Chubb's the running back. I'm sorry.
Nick Chubb, damn.
Sorry.
No, Nick Chubb is the running back.
But I think that Ramsey would have helped that defense. But you're missing Ramsey for at least 10 to 12 games right now.
Yeah.
You might miss one or two at most with Burrow. You might not miss any at all. So I think the concern is more for the Dolphins because now you lost your elite corner. What if Tua goes down too? Your season's getting derailed.
It's not what if, it's when it happens.
But like you were saying before, it's all about getting your body right. It's all about a good diet. It's eating right. It's eating meat and not being one of these sissy Marys who's vegan.
I see that goes to show you someone who's ill-informed.
You wow.
You're just showing your
I don't know why you got
sir.
flames behind you. You ain't ever cooked on a goddamn grill. You gotta put bales of hay behind you, you fucking horse hay eating motherfucker.
Only kind of bales of hay to go behind me, sir. The kind of be at a clan rally that you attend.
Hey, man, let's I don't even know how to take this bro.
And I'm mad because I didn't even know there was gonna be cameras at the meeting, and I put my hood up, and there's Mel. Gotcha, bitch.
Fuck y'all. Fuck both of y'all for this.
Mel was like Dave Chappelle, Clayton Bigsby. Y'all won't see his face.
You want to see my face? All right, so we got 3 minutes in roughly to finish this up. So real quick, I tried to tell y'all, man, if y'all watch 613 Freight Productions D-Man K Sports Podcast, I told y'all 2 weeks ago, man, Bud Crawford was going to win it. I said in 10. He did it in 9. TKO. Impressive. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It was a total beatdown, ass whooping. Two guys showed up. One guy walked out looking the same as he walked in, and the other guy looked like the Tommy Hitman Hearns Martin show episode. So,
Bruh.
I mean,
Bruh.
I got something when you're done. Go ahead.
I mean, it is what it is. Shit happens. Look, I respect Errol Spence Jr. I think he's good, but he ran into the better boxer.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are gonna, well, he jumped from 154 to 147.
That's boxing, bro. That's part of the game. I don't want to hear that shit. That's part of the game.
They like, well, he looked dehydrated. Look, fact of the matter is,
the motherfuckers would hate me. My weight fluctuates all the time. I'm always
hey. Fact of the matter is,
he's an overrated.
I ain't paying no attention to Pedro. First of all, he is a Raiders fan. That's all thing you need to say. A Raiders fan. We see how that organization is getting ran.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah, that's all you had to say.
I'd be shitting other people's teams too if I had to rely on Jimmy G to be accurate. And Josh McDaniels to coach, and Josh Jacobs to show up, and Devontae Adams not to demand a trade to the Jets.
Oh Lord,
we didn't even get into that. Go
Get him.
We're going overtime. I'll stay on.
So it's like, end of the day, I'm just like, Bud Crawford put on a spectacular performance. It was masterful. Let's not take away from what he did and make excuses for Errol Spence, because you know what? He hasn't made no excuses. He just said, I just got my ass whooped. That's pretty much summarizing what he said at the press conference. It is what it is. All right. So, but what I'm looking at, I'm looking at his corner. Now, people saying he got the best trainer and all that. His corner game plan was just trash. You can't combat a counter puncher that has a 2-inch reach on you. You can't do it. He's a counter puncher. Mayweather did the same thing. He's not going to be the aggressor. He's only going to push forward and attack is after the fact that he knows he has blood in the water and he's going to beat you down. And that's exactly what happened. It was a masterful class. He gave up the first round just to fill out like most boxers do. And then after that, it was a beatdown. All right. Don't make no excuses.
There's no need to get an excuse. He beat the brakes off of him, the carburetor, the engine,
popped the tire.
Right. He beat,
man. Took the steering wheel.
Well, first of all, ain't nobody trying to even see that rematch. If you just saw what happened on Saturday, you might.
You better do like Fridays. No,
bruh. Why?
For
Why?
real.
First of all, they were charging $85 for the pay-per-view, which
What?
well, first of all, I gotta be honest. It was touted as one of the best matchups, and it makes sense. It made perfect sense. The problem is that the fight just didn't come out how we expected. We expected like a split decision type shit. It just didn't happen. All right. It is what it is. Situations happen. You know. So
Left that motherfucker just a frame on Martin Luther King Boulevard in North.
Right.
you know, it is what it is. So things happen, but no, I don't. Why would I want to see a rematch? I just saw you get obliterated, bro.
Yeah, I won't see that.
No, I'm good. Shit. No, I'm good.
One thing that just popped in, Sean Boyhan from the group, Bills fan.
Yeah.
He messaged me and says, "I love him." I thought he was talking about Dalton Kincaid again because he's sending me shit about the rookie tight end who looks phenomenal already.
Yeah.
But it's about your coach, Mel. Dan Campbell wanted to have a real lion, on the sidelines for home games in a cage. How can you not love Dan Campbell?
Oh goodness!
Hey,
You
man,
follow
unless
the
you
ball, you in the cage with the lion.
That'd have been wild, bro. A full
Literally
on the sideline. That'd have been nuts, bro. Like you can't even bring nothing near to that cage, bro. Like you gotta have like almost like a 10-foot radius around it.
For real.
Like for real, you can't have nothing get to that damn. Just stick his damn arm through that damn
paw out there.
Yeah,
you remember when the Texas Longhorn went after the Georgia Bulldog?
I remember that. When Bevo went crazy and tried to get Ugga on the sideline, try to get his ass. And like you see it in the background, this big ass here coming and running.
I'm all for it, man. I would vote for that in a heartbeat if there's a public poll.
Oh my god! But no,
it is. You're right, Ant.
Man, we want to give a shout out to Mike, man. Great content. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with him.
Yeah, that was good.
We'll definitely ask him to come back on the show again. Always. Hey, it's football season, man. We about to get things revamped up. Wild Card Chief coming back. No Name Podcast for the Detroit Lions fans, and of course, you got the big homie Nick Shine with Proud New York Jets fans. So make sure y'all tap in with that content.
Right.
Hey, like, share, subscribe, everything. I.O.W Sports, I.O.W Sports Network on the Facebook, Instagram, most importantly, the YouTube channel, I.O.W Sports 1 on Twitter. Hey, everything's at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you tap in with us, all right? And until then, we'll catch y'all Thursday for episode 266. Wildcard Mar, big homie Nick Shine, Detroit Mail.
Like